I also want to talk about the climate of, as you said, accountability, but specifically free expression. What is the Human Rights Watch concerns now with regards to, as you said, on the one hand, the government not only demonizes and castigates human rights workers, they also demonize very often the press.
Yes. This is all part of the dismantling of the institutions that people are talking about. You have to keep in mind that this administration, the very first target nila was the critic, Lele de Lima, and then the Supreme Court, and then all of these other critics, the church, civil society, and then of course the press. Now, freedom of expression it's a human right. We don't have that, then we're nothing. But this government has targeted journalists, particularly Rappler, and many of those who have reported on the drug war. So there's this connection between how journalists are doing their jobs and, of course, the drug war that the Duterte administration is waging. So it has created a climate where journalists are now, we think, are fearful for their lives. And this is not how we're supposed to be performing our task. It has created a climate where journalists need to be mindful about the backlash that they get online, offline. You know these things. This Ed, based on your experience, and I'm confident that Filipino journalists are much more, are braver people than most ordinary people, and will weather this problem. But again, to the public, it diminishes the value of freedom of expression. It promotes the idea that freedom of expression or press freedom is second only to, again, the whole rhetoric of the president that, we're talking about human lives here. Your right to freedom of expression, your right to media freedom is nothing compared to,
or public order.
Order.
If you don't mind, I just want to fast forward the discussion a bit. I mean, let's say in the case of Rappler, or the president threatening the owners of Inquirer, or the owners of ABS-CBN, for that matter, stripping away, as we said, all the optics. And we've asked government officials, what do you say to their line and to their defense, where they say that, look, if you were to ascribe all good faith here, they've asked us, they've literally asked us on this show, what do you propose we do? If there is a violation of the law, you're telling us to turn a blind eye. Rappler's PDRs were really different from the PDRs of other networks. There was really something to look at there. There's a specific clause to Umidyar that is different from the clause for North-based media and so on. What do you propose to do? Just because they're press, we don't look at their, so what do you say to that?
That's a very convenient and disingenuous way of arguing. The point is that it's not. Let's set aside for a moment whether the legal issues that Rappler is facing have merit or not. I mean, personally, in my view, it doesn't. But let's set aside that and let's look at the consistency of the attacks against Rappler. I mean, Rappler was attacked from day one of this government, even before, during the campaign, and also the other critical media. It's not an accident that Duterte has also come down hard on the Inquirer and the ABS-CBN and many other critical media. And look at what, even during press conferences, he would a reporter would ask him a very critical question and he would minumura niya and everything. So it's not as if suddenly, nakakatawa naman that suddenly all of these public officials are saying that we have to follow the law. But here you have a situation where there's a consistent, relentless, consistent pattern of abuse against members of the press. You have to look at it that way because kung batas lang ang patitingnan natin, okay, sige, may kasalanan ng Rappler and all of that, then that's fine. Except that it's also happening to a whole lot of other people. And it's not just even the press, it's all these institutions and individuals that can check the abuses of this government. It's a pretty strong and consistent, series of incidents.